Here with 5+ questions to a mile maker. And my guest is
Doremicom.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm pretty energetic. You called me on a good Saturday.
Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. You ready for the now? You know it used to be called Demon Gestures 5 questions. Now it's called 5+. There's 8 questions. You ready for the 8 questions?
Yes, I think I can handle those 3 extra questions.
All right. The first question is, who are you? And please tell us about yourself, your hobby, and also, do you have more than one hobby?
So my first name is actually Brian, but I go as Doremicom on YouTube and pretty much everywhere. I've signed up, like even on Xbox Live. I'm Doremicom. Do I have other? So love wargaming. Anything from board games to tabletop gaming, love it all. But I do have other hobbies. Used to do quite a bit of Shakespeare in the Park acting. Did some improv acting. Worked with some independent film when I was in college. So I love the whole artistic aspect of that. I'm also a little bit on the technical side. Like for instance, I've worked on apps and whatnot, but I don't know really consider that a hobby so much as a thing to pay for the hobby stuff. That's about it.
All right. Number 2, what got you into your hobby and how long have you been into it?
So that's a really good question. I think it kind of starts with a collaboration from my dad taught me how to play Risk when I was 4 years old, and
Wow.
and I love spending time with my dad. So he was just like, I really like playing this game, and I'm like, okay, I'll learn how to play it. And I was not good strategy wise from it, but I was basically just thrust into the whole notion of playing this board game with my dad, and I had really good dice rolling, so it kind of kept me on par with him. But then between that and doing the blue box Dungeons and Dragons, getting into like the model aspect and trying really young, I was maybe 5 when I painted my first mini, and I won't show it to anyone because it's horrible.
You're 5.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm talking about. So between those two things, the conversion over to tabletop wargaming when the first Games Workshop store opened up near my house, I just kind of fell in love with the whole notion of tabletop gaming and having all the adventures when I was a little kid of like Army Men and whatnot with a general rule set that people could actually get into. And then, watching these amazing painters and scenery builders come to life this in 3 dimensions, like a game. So.
All right. Ready for number 3?
I'm ready for number 3.
Number 3. When and why did you start making YouTube videos, and have you met anyone from YouTube because of it?
This is interesting because I mean, hypothetically, my very first video that I ever posted was an improv comedy troupe that I was part of called Face to Face, and we actually filmed it way before I actually had my first YouTube account. So, but if I was just taking it from the notion of when did I really start, you know what? I hate to say this. I'm gonna actually go to my channel because I don't remember. It has to be like 5 or 6 years. I'll just say 6 years ago, maybe just shy of. 6 years ago, I probably posted my first video, but the first time I did something for an actual tabletop experience when I started doing 40K Apocalypse games was probably just shy of that, like 5 years, 10 months. But I've met tons of people, both online. I mean, I can now count you on my list, but I would say that. But I met a ton of people online, but actually in person, face to face. You have John from Wargaming Painting, Solid Smurf, Tony, who used to be part of the Tony Pony F channel, now is part of the Sustainable Center. Met Nataku, a lot of people. It's even kind of freaky because sometimes people will all of a sudden recognize me in at my gaming store, and it's a pretty wild thing. This weekend we're having a Brawlers Bash at my local game store, which is a Warhammer Fantasy Grand Tournament. And while I was there, I was demoing some Infinity games, and we had a couple people run through, and we had these two guys kind of come up to me and they're like, "Are you that Doremicom guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And so we started talking, and I found out that they had a YouTube channel that they hadn't really started doing videos yet, but they were looking into it in the near future. I was touched that they actually came up, recognized me, and started talking to me, so that was kind of cool.
I love that first fan.
Yeah, so I've met a ton of people. There's even a ton of people who I haven't even had a chance to actually talk to in person, but people I'd love to, like New Icon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just tons of people.
Well, with new technology getting stronger and stronger, you'll be able to see tons of us. All right. Ready for number 4?
Yep, absolutely.
Do you have any tips for anyone new getting into your hobby, and this includes making YouTube videos?
Okay, so definitely, if I just look at YouTube itself, not as like the tabletop hobby game, I would say to not stress about the glamour of it all. Don't worry about your subscriber count. Don't worry about your view count. The thing that you need to focus on, number one, is to post videos that you would want to watch. So if you can get to the point where you're like, and keep challenging yourself to get to that next level, to the point that you are posting videos that when you go out to YouTube, you could go click on your video and go, that was a good video. I had a good time watching that.
Yes.
Because generally speaking, and it seems so simple, but generally speaking, if you look like you're having a good time making your video and it is of a certain quality, then the people are going to go, wow, that guy looks like he's having fun. I gotta be stimulated into, coming back to YouTube, subscribing to this guy's channel, taking a look at things, and getting, just interested back into watching videos. And so beyond all that, for your YouTube channel, understand that, if you're focusing on this niche market of tabletop wargaming, that you're not going to be, Philly B, Shane Dawson. You're not going to have 1 million subscribers, and accept that, so that's what I would say for YouTube people. Just don't stress about the little things. Just post things that you want to watch, because I will tell you, the number one thing that can make you have just like a really enthusiastic audience.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. But the number one thing that will make you have the enthusiastic subscriber base is you're posting something that people find so entertaining that they'll post on different forums and stuff. And really, that comes from you investing enough time in it from a do you like it perspective, because it does translate. As far as the hobby goes, be aware of, look online, find out, what the ROI kind of, thing is of your particular game, to make sure that you are picking a game that suits your play style. I think going online and seeing other people play a particular game is a good way to determine whether or not it's going to handle your particular play style and your particular economic situation. There's a lot of good games out there that really are not expensive at all to get into.
War Machine Hordes.
What?
I'm getting away from playing Warhammer as much as I used to.
Right.
I'm going to War Machine Hordes because it's a little cheaper.
Yeah, no, it's and that is a fantastic game. I mean, and for you can find stuff online, and have it sent to you for probably $35 for a battle box, and you can get a lot of games out of just a battle box.
Yep.
So like I said, there's a lot of games out there. I would highly suggest you focus on those that fit your play style and your budget, and that's pretty much the begin. Oh, and make sure you have a couple people in your neighborhood that also played, so you have someone to play against.
Yeah.
That would be
hey, not now, because I've been seeing people play from Skype to Skype. Games of Skype, like they had two armies at their house and they've been playing against each other.
I need to see that, because I don't know how that would work from like, even because you would have to have like identical terrain.
No, they just play with flat terrain. Oh, it's always flat tables. But still, I've seen it happen. I'm like, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of creepy at the same time.
That's the people are like, I need my wargaming fix, you know. So yeah, no. So that's all
That's
I
it for
got to
that
say.
one, right?
Yeah, let's go to number 5.
Number 5 is now. This is used to be. It's not as bad as it used to be. This question in the
Yeah,
forums, and you know about forums, so you understand the question I'm going to ask.
yeah.
Number 5 is: do you like using airbrush or paintbrush, or do you use both, and why?
And my answer is no. No, I'm seriously. I love. Well, first off, I've never owned an airbrush, so I could never say, oh, I prefer the airbrush. It's not fair to the airbrush people, you know, that really care about airbrushing. I think I've seen some amazingly talented work. Lesser from Awesome Paint Job painted me some Tron drop pod and a Land Raider one time. Just awesome, and stuff I've seen people use airbrushes with. It's just simply amazing. I've only ever used a paintbrush, and that's really mainly because I know how I am. I don't think I have the patience to clean out, maintain an airbrush, so I haven't really spent the money to buy it. And recently it's been one of those things where after painting 9,000 points of 40K stuff, I would say maybe 65 or 70% of that, I just haven't had a strong desire to get back into painting. Although I say that now, but I have promised myself that this box right here
Ooh.
of Infinity remotes for Yujing and the Combined Army remotes, these 2 sets, I will be painting myself. I have promised myself that.
I'm gonna say this right now. Those little things that you showed first for Infinity look like the tanks from an anime I liked.
There's a lot of.
It looks like it goes in a shell.
There's a lot of anime influence in Infinity models. In fact, if you take a look at some of the Yujing bikers, anyone who's seen Akira
I swear that's a bike.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
You know, and their new one for Aleph kind of gives a sense of the Tron Legacy light cycles.
Oh wow!
I don't know. Which I think they do an amazing job with their models. But I promised myself that I am not going to send these out to be painted. I will be painting these. Even picked up paint for it. Picked up some P3 and Reaper paint, Reaper Master Series paint for them. So I will be getting back to it, but I think it's probably going to end up being just a paintbrush. So.
All right, let's go with number 6 because that's one I think you'll love.
Yeah.
What was your favorite mini or model to build and paint, and why?
I have to say that my favorite model that I painted was actually a Vampire Reaper model. It was all one piece, so I can't really say that there was any assembly per se. Do I still have them on my shelf? I do. Hold on.
Ooh, mini showy. I love these.
Now, my reason for this, I think, might surprise people. Let's see. I've even put them in a little plastic case to keep all the dust off of them.
Oh.
So, hopefully this will show up.
Oh wow! It looks like that's awesome.
Okay, now I will tell you the reason that this particular model was my favorite is that, do you know those really childlike beginner painting sets that come in like little plastic caps that are like this?
Yeah, the how to paint,
and you pop them open. That is all I used.
What?
I did not use anything else other than black spray primer and the armor actually has 7 different shades of blue and purple to give the illusion of the forward and backwards. I spent probably, I would say, 16 hours maybe on this guy because the paint was so bad. I mean, it was the worst paint I've ever used in my life. And when I was done, I was like, wow, I actually have to say that, it's not amazing, right? But I got to say, I would,
For the crappy paint I had.
yeah, for the paint I had, I don't think I could possibly have gotten any better than that. So
That looks
I
awesome.
think I think
Even
that's
does
what,
look cool. Honestly, I like the older minis because that's the style I was raised in with.
yeah. Well, you're you're old enough, I think, to remember the Ral Partha D&D minis. Did you ever?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Michael Carmine made those. He was the original
Okay.
Peter. He was on. Well, he didn't make them. He was the Peter Smith company that mass produced them.
Nice. Okay, so then you're very much aware, right?
Yes,
Those were my first models ever.
they were good
The
sculpts.
first,
They were for basic beginners. They were great sculpts for beginners.
yeah. So my very first model was the box set of dwarves and the box set of orcs, and that's
Oh,
when
I hate
orcs
orcs.
orcs were only this tall, and
Yeah.
the dwarves were like this tall. Now I mean now there's this new impression of how big orcs should be, right? So instead of here, orcs are way up here now.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's a dwarf orc.
Yeah, they're nearly the same height.
Yeah.
But you had never seen anything like that. I mean, there really weren't before Reaper and and Ralph Partha, and you had a couple of other games like the original Chainmail game from TSR was actually predates 40K by just a little bit, and I think it might have actually predated Fantasy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of great sculpts. Love that. So huge props. The miniature that I just showed you was
Awesome.
a Reaper miniature.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Let's go to number 7. And
okay.
everybody has asked me before the video starts, what's this question about? I explained it, so I hope you can answer it now.
Awesome.
Number 7 is, what's your opinion of a model maker to a war gamer?
So my understanding of the question is, like, am I trying to tell them the difference between a model maker and a war gamer, or am I trying to say, like,
what's your opinion of both? Like, what's your opinion? Like, I know that if you're a lot of model makers and war gamers want that middle between point that they want to be both, but then there's these guys they end up becoming hardcore gamers, so they end up paying somebody to do a model and paint it for them, and that's why we have tons of commissioners out there now. And then there's these guys that go, I can do that. They make the model so much, and they go, I just like doing this now. I'm gonna be one of those commissioners. So they end up going from being I want to play a game, and they'll play like once a blue moon, to always painting models, building them, and then they only play once a blue moon, not care if they lose the game. Then you got these hardcore gamers, like a war gamer.
Right. So I kind of feel like I feel like I fit somewhat in the middle, but much closer to a war gamer than a model maker. And the reason that I'm not pure war gamer, I think, probably is twofold. One is I still build my own terrain for the most part, and or work with people to design terrain. So I like actually expressing that kind of creative side of what's going on. And so if I look at the model makers, don't get me wrong, I think it's amazing that there are some people who literally spend their entire time just doing the hobby aspect of wargaming. I mean, they kind of push the envelope and really bring in a lot of things that enhance the game, quite honestly. And then the wargamers are really great too, because quite honestly, they're the ones that buy things in bulk and buy those models that actually look ugly and no one wants to actually paint because it's important for their rule set or their strategies in order to enact them, right? And I think kind of both are needed for the hobby, but it is a shame whenever you get people that are so invested in the wargamer aspect from a I must win perspective, and they forget the hey, let's have some fun, or from the model maker's perspective where this is what I'm doing for myself is great. This is what you should be doing is bad. Right? It's like as long as it's not I'm either hating on people because I'm not winning, or I'm hating on people because they're not painting their models to the exact specification that I'm painting it to. If you shy away from both of those kind of extreme factions of both sides, then the whole bandwidth is wonderful people.
Yes. And that's why the question happened. All right, let's go right to number 7.
Yes.
Number 8. Duh. I forgot how I count today. Number 8. Who do you think I should ask these questions to next, and why?
Okay, so I actually started coming up with a list. I got 5 people on this list, and the reason I say this is I know I've gone out to your videos, and I specifically did not write down anyone who I saw a video of, but I know for a fact that you actually have stuff in the can that you have not released yet. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to find you some people, okay? First one I think you should talk to is new icon from Crush Prop Productions. I always think it's amazing when you have people that are YouTubers that are independently making games. So Crush Prop Productions, if you haven't talked to him,
No, not yet.
That'd be an interesting one. Tim McCowan, I think I would also throw out there. He is a painter that works a lot with Modest Magic, who I did see that you had an interview on.
Yeah, I am for Modest Magic, but not Tim McCowan. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel.
Yes, he does, and a lot of the stuff, like I said, that when Modest Magic does things where he's offering the stuff to be painted, it kind of goes 50-50 between whether or not he paints it himself or he commissions Tim McCowan to paint some things. Old school, I would say, going back to Nataku might be fun. I know he's kind of shied away from wargaming, so I don't know if he's going to be like who you're looking for. He's doing very much more on the role-playing side. And
I think I already asked him.
Oh, okay. Then I was talking to Tony from the Sustainable Center, and again, he used to be Tony Pony F. He's doing a lot of deeper analysis with Warhammer Fantasy. So I think he might have some interesting perspective on some of this. And lastly, I would also say John from Wargame Painting, if you haven't talked to him. There's a couple of other people, but the unfortunate truth, I was looking for people that you hadn't talked to yet, but a lot of the other people that I really wanted to list on here haven't posted a video in like 6 months.
You know.
And it's tricky because I'm like, oh, I don't want you to go up to them and them be like, no, I'm totally out. But at the same time, since they've been gone for 6 months, it makes me kind of go, what have they been up to? Have they been doing some big project, or have they just kind of been like, no, I'm done with that timeline of my life? I don't know.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the 8 questions. Now, this is what I call shameless plug time. Have a blast. Anything that you say now goes in the credits. Even if you want to plug people, if you want to plug other YouTube channels, I'll put them. I usually write from shameless plug time. I put the.
I'm prepared for this. Okay, well, so for all the people out there, okay, so I'm gonna give one special plug. First, I'm gonna talk about the next couple of videos that are coming on my channel. I've had a really hard time, unfortunately, because I had a dog pass away, and it's between that and dealing with that, and then dealing with a much heavier workload because I had to take some time off. Has made it difficult for me to kind of keep up churning out the videos that I was planning on churning out. But expect in the near future, you're going to see a lot of stuff coming from my channel. From the campaign Paradiso Infinity perspective, we're going to do some kind of high-end bat reps that we're going to be posting. You're going to be probably wanting to watch them in 720p. And because of that, I got to give massive shout-outs to all the people who have contributed at all to this project. And that includes Modest Magic, Epic Terrain. Epic Terrain is, if you guys don't know, is like the guy I go to for painting because I can't find quality, speed, and price, all of that kind of like beautiful pinpoint perspective. So anyway, I said Modest Magic to him, Epic Terrain, Dream Spirit War. They are doing something that is awesome for the very first video that you're going to see from the campaign Paradiso. They sent me some actual footage from Serbia. Those guys are awesome. So huge props on them. Nataku painted some stuff. Solid Smurf, John from Wargaming painting. I know I'm going to forget someone. That really kills me. But also other shameless plugging that I've been doing, working on some Bell of Lost Souls articles. And I mean, you guys know my YouTube channel and my two baby channels, the Doremicom blog and the Six-Sided Films as well. So,
all right.
I guess I'm done.
Everything he said is going to be put in the description below. I'm going to have to watch the video like 12 times, but I'll be able to do it.
Sorry, man.
Don't worry. And that's the show. Like I said to everybody, keep the blade sharp and let the hobby be fun. Bye, everybody.
Take care.